We are going to be covering JavaScript this week, just a little introduction to JavaScript, and you'll be finishing up on your final project. There are no web-based readings, so you just need to go through the lecture demo. And I have included videos on all the different sections in this lecture demo. So you're going to want to read through the section, and then, if you need more clarification, I would definitely watch the videos. And the first section basically is covering variables and then how to create functions and how to use methods and what the difference between a function and a method is in JavaScript. Then there are some interactive coding examples that I actually walk you through. We also cover how to use JavaScript to modify the CSS in your page. So you'll also learn how to do that. And then we do some basic event handling where you click on buttons and JavaScript changes things. So that is also covered. So we're just kind of touching the surface of what JavaScript can actually do. So read through this, watch the videos, then you'll have a pretty good feel for JavaScript, at least the basics. And then you're going to work through the textbook assignment. And so the textbook assignment is actually pretty short. The focus is on JavaScript. So there will be occasions where I'm actually going to give you the code. Here I'm giving you some graphics. And you're going to be creating this simple little page. So you can see there's just not a whole lot here, but the page will actually allow you to click the buttons and change the picture. Now, this is a graphic. This isn't an interactive, so this is not going to actually work, but this is just to give you an example of what it's going to look like. Then we've got another one, and you can see that what you're going to be typing in is incredibly short. But this is basically a page that is created entirely using JavaScript. So you'll be creating that. And then you'll be converting it into a page that not only is prompting for JavaScript, but you're actually going to write to the page. Okay. And there's videos that walk you through how to do all of this for every single task. Here, you're going to be downloading a file, and then you are going to be adjusting that file. And I'm going to give you a heads up because I did not highlight this, and this is something everybody is missing. So this button on click equal apply changes, make sure you add the on click here. A lot of people are missing that, and then they have to go back in and fix it. So heads up, don't forget that. And so then we'll go through this last little exercise is kind of cool. You're going to create a push navigation menu, which actually, when you click on it, all of the content gets pushed off to the right and the menu displays. And then you are going to save it under a different name and create an overlay menu. So, and it's just a matter of tweaking some of your code. Okay, and the overlay, instead of pushing the content, it lays over the top. So it's actually kind of cool. So that is all the assignment is. So you're going to transfer those files, add the links into your lesson 12 under your textbook assignment, add them there. And that is your last textbook assignment. Then you are going to need to create a Certiport account if you do not already have one. And this is for your certification exam. So all you need to do is create the account. Do not purchase a voucher. We have the vouchers. You do not purchase them, but you do need to create the account so you have a username and a password, because you will need the username and the password when you go in to the Professional Testing Center to take your test. Okay, and what you submit to the Dropbox should be a screenshot of, you logged in. So if you have an account, awesome, log in. If you don't, you'll have to create one. Hopefully I remember my username. All right, so this is what you need a screenshot of. Okay, and you'll upload that to the Dropbox, and I will give you points for doing that. Then you're going to move on to the final project, which hopefully you've already started. This project can be based on one of the assignments, the lab assignments that you did in Lesson 11. So it can either be your CSS grid or your grid view assignment that you can use as a foundation for your final project. At this point, you will be able to add in all of the requirements. So you're going to need a folder for the project. I'm going to call it Final Project. And inside that folder, you're going to have a media and a CSS folder. The name of your page should be index.html. And if you have multiple pages, you can name the other ones whatever you want. You're going to need some screen and some print CSS. And I think I suggested the name screen and print, but you guys can really call them whatever you want. If you're going to reuse, your grid view print and your grid view screen, it's okay if you keep those names. As long as I can see the word screen and print, so I know what the CSS is, that's fine. This is what your structure should look like. And then we get into the HTML requirements and the points for these requirements. And so at this point, you should be able to do everything, including adding the JavaScript. Okay, and if you're reusing a project and you've already got a pretty good start on this, it could be the JavaScript is all that you have to add. Okay, so you need either an event handler, a function, a method. You need to incorporate some JavaScript feature. Okay, I mean, you could even do an event like a mouse over. If they mouse over a graphic, you display some text. It can be very simple. It does not have to be anything complicated. Then you've got your CSS requirements for the index or the screen and the print. And again, the naming of these, it does not matter as much to me as long as I know that one is screen and one is print. And so these requirements really have not changed. For CSS3, you do need to make sure you have a transition or an animation effect. If you have the icon bar, you can actually incorporate that into the icon bar and call it done. You're going to need a Google font. So there are some additional requirements in here that were not in the CSS grid and grid view assignments. So make sure you kind of look through here and that you've got everything done. And then you're going to want to add a final project link to your assignment page. Then definitely, because this is your term project, you are going to want to test it live to make sure that everything works. Okay, that is critical. It is a good idea to go through the checklist because this is actually what I go through when I score it. Okay, so you can actually see each requirement listed out and how many points it is worth. So that is due on the 4th. along with the textbook assignment and the Certiport screenshot. You also have an exam. This is one of those where you can do it 3 times and it will take your highest score. That is also due on the 4th. The reason is because I've created a practice test for you that pulls in all of these exam questions, and that will be open up on the 5th, and it's going to actually show the answers. So um, the 4th is kind of a hard deadline here. So don't be late on taking this test because you aren't going to be able to if you try to do it late, because that other test that practice one is going to be open. Finally, we have an industry night out that is totally optional, but if you go, you can get extra credit on that. Okay, so that is what we have going on this week. If you run into problems or if you have questions, please let me know. The due date is December 4th, but if you guys want to do this early and get it done, awesome. You can always get things done and turned in ahead of time. That is never a problem. Let me know if you have questions and have a great week.